Well, when I think about the future of the hospitality industry and the hotel of the future, then of course I have to say that currently the industry is going through dire straits, and probably the hotel is the asset class that is hit the hardest by the current crisis. But at the same time, I believe that the future of our industry looks bright. I think if there is anything our industry has proven since its existence, it's that we are very good in crisis management. We're probably not the best when it comes to innovation, but I believe that these times of turmoil are a great opportunity to come up with innovation, and that we should use this time to come up with new ideas. I believe that hotel as an asset class can be the most versatile and the most flexible when we compare it, for example, to other asset classes such as office, such as retail, such as residential. And I think that the discussion we have to have should focus on how the product, the concept can become even more flexible and may include elements of retail, of residential, and of office. So I believe that a hotel could be a working place temporarily. The hotel is definitely a place where you can live for a certain amount of time, for a certain period. But it's also a place that could combine retail outlets and other facilities. I believe that we need to think even more about how we can include the neighborhood, the people that live around the hotel. That's something we're experiencing now in the middle of this crisis, that hotels start to think about how they can generate additional revenues with, let's say, the captive audience they have around the hotel, which is the local population. So I believe that there are many more functions that a hotel could fulfill. We just need to be creative, think about it, and communicate. Another aspect is certainly technology. I don't think that we need to have technology just for technology's sake. When I think about technology, there will be certain processes that need to be there anyways, but we need to think beyond that. And when I speak about technology, for me, it's a function of seamlessness. So I want to think about what happens before the stay at a particular hotel and what happens after the stay at a particular hotel. I think right now we only think about what's happening during a guest stays at the very hotel. But I think that technology gives us the opportunity to connect and communicate with our guests pre-stay and also post-stay, and that we should be able to build, even a social network around the hotel stay, that there is kind of a platform of exchange of ideas and whatever, so that the hotel has a physical component on site. It remains, of course, a piece of real estate. But it can be more than that. There can be a digital space. There can be a community. And the hotel can become something that also exists in a virtual space. And last but not least, I believe that there will be a revolution even, meaning that hospitality needs to be back in the focus of what we do in this industry. I think for many decades, we took care of the hard facts of optimizing, and we created machines. But I think what people are longing for, especially in those difficult times, is true hospitality. So I think, and I hope that there will be a revolution. And I see that guests more and more appreciate again the true values of hospitality. And I think that's something we need to work on all together. What is a seamless customer experience? For me, it's more than, that the hotel sends you an email a few days before your stay and asks you whether you would like to have an upgrade or flowers on the room or whatever. I mean, those are things that we have already. For me, it is eventually also a question of digital transformation in the hotel industry. And there is a lot of digital transformation going on already when it comes to technical hardware processes at the hotel, like the question, how do you open, how do you unlock your room? Those are things that have been happening for years and that will continue to happen, and there will be technological development and there will be great innovation. That's fine. But what I mean is that from a guest's experience, we create a world that has both physical elements and virtual, digital, whatever you want to call it, elements. Right now, you check in and you check out. So that marks the beginning and the end of the physical experience at the very hotel. The question for me is, what can we do before that in a digital space, and what can we do after that in a digital space? There are a few examples that come to mind. They exist already, and it's not rocket science, but I believe that we should continue the discussion and that we can come up with even more elements. For example, I would be interested, I'm staying in New York for a couple of days at a hotel. I would be curious to learn who else will be staying at that hotel during those 3 days. It's maybe an issue of data protection. Maybe there are other guests that are not interested in that, but I'm sure there are guests that are interested in this. It could be kind of a Tinder for hotels. It could be a matchmaking tool. There could be an app where I share a profile and I tell other users, listen, I will be at the hotel from until, and if you are interested, if there are common interests, professionally speaking, then maybe we should meet at the bar of the hotel. We should grab a beer or whatever, and we should have a discussion. And maybe it proves to be a fruitful discussion and something will be developing out of that. It will be a win-win situation for both guests during their stay at the hotel. So that's something that, for example, could be prepared, initiated prior to the actual hotel stay. Let's go into the resort business. Let's pick any luxury resort brand. You stay there for 1 week. You do your yoga classes or whatever classes, your meditation classes, I don't know. And then you check out, but you feel like you want to belong still to this community. You want to go on with those classes wherever you are on this planet. So maybe there is, again, an app, there's a network, there's something you can subscribe to, and you have access to the daily yoga class or whatever class. There's a live streaming to your device, again, wherever you are. Maybe the hotel will ask for a subscription fee. And I'm sure there are people out there that would be willing to pay for this. So this could as well be an additional revenue stream for the hotel. So those are the things, when I say seamless, it's what happens before, what happens during the stay, and what happens after the stay. And this is the kind of digital transformation that I would like to discuss when it comes to the hotel of the future. The hotel as the neighborhood joint, as I like to call it, is something that is very dear to my heart. And it's an area that has, in my opinion, tremendous potential in terms of revenue generation, a potential that is almost still untapped into today. There are some great examples we've been following for many years already. I think that was the revolution of the food and beverage at hotels, whereas for decades there was a strong focus on rooms, how we can make money with rooms, and some hotels even completely outsourced food and beverage, or kicked out restaurants even. And then there were young, quirky hotel groups such as 25 Hours or later Hoxton and others that discovered that there is tremendous potential in food and beverage, and that the target audience for that, unlike the hotel rooms, is not only transient guests from abroad or from a different city. They realized that a main target segment is actually the local population, and that this bears the opportunity for the hotel to generate revenues with the people that live in the destination. But I think that this is only the beginning, and I think there are so many more ways where hoteliers should think about, to be very blunt, how can we make money with the neighborhood I'm in? How can we do something great for the community? How can we offer services to the community living around us? And at the end of the day, ideally, also make money with it. There are little things that come to mind, like, for example, laundry services. Many professionals make use of laundry services. Why not just drop off your laundry in the morning on your way to the office at the hotel that is just around the corner from your place? And in the evening, you pop by again, your laundry is done, you pick it up. You may even have a drink or two at the bar as you're there anyways. And it generates revenue for the hotel, but at the same time makes your own life more convenient, and takes some of the complexity of those overwhelming daily schedules out of your life. It could be your grocery shopping. Maybe the hotel can take care of that. And in the evening, you pass by and you just pick up the stuff that you ordered. Your Amazon parcel, everyone faces that issue constantly today. The hotel could be the place where they drop your parcel again in the evening or whenever you pass by, you pick it up. And maybe there are ways, then in food and beverage to make additional revenues. So I think it's this exercise of thinking about the infrastructure you have at the hotel anyways, and how you can make use of this infrastructure by selling it to the people that live around the hotel. We see great examples of this right now. So I think it's also a recipe for crisis management. We have closed borders. Traveling is cumbersome. In many destinations, the number of foreign visitors drops to almost zero. So hotels are now forced to think about creating revenues with the local population. We've seen some examples already, but I think this is something we should continue after the pandemic. And the day will come very soon, hopefully. So this is certainly something we can take out of the crisis and develop for the future.